Laughing aloud now, magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizard, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, oh, oh. That's a wizard show. Mischief in the classroom, potions gone astray. Flying through the quad, now brighter.
50th anniversary Dungeons and Dragons merchandise finally available from WizKids, and still no t-shirt. Honey, where's my t-shirt? It's Friday the 13th. Spooky, 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 spooky. It's very foggy. I'm running about an hour late because the cat wanted to cuddle, and we've got some news from WizKids regarding some new official Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary merchandise. I'm not sure why today. I don't think today is anything historically important in regards to D&D, but oh, whatever. So we've got a ton of new merch in addition to the merch they've already told us about, all the figures and stuff. What we still do not have is an official licensed t-shirt, which I think was the first thing everybody wanted. We all wanted a 50th anniversary Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt, day one, January 1st, Year of the Dragon. But no, instead, we have the Baldur's Gate, Builders of Baldur's Gate board game thingy by Matthews Dustin. We can expect this late 2024 or early 2025, just in time for Christmas. This should follow the other series of miniature-centric games that they've made over the years for D&D. We'll have some buildings, we'll have some places, we'll have some stuff for you to do. There'll be a lot of cool figures. Do not know, is this probably a resource management game, I would say. Players complete to build in the iconic Forgotten Realms city of Baldur's Gate, aiming to control districts within the city and the three main factions. So resource management, faction control, how many mills can you build? I love resource management games. It'll probably have a lot of cool figures. It'll probably be marked down really quick. So that seems like a win-win for me. What else have they revealed? I don't think, are they reveals? I mean, it's like, oh, well, they've revealed that they're redesigning the dragons. This hits to a more sensitive and stupid subject, but this is what the new Black Dragon will look like. Not sure why the new Black Dragon suddenly is undead with this skull. But I guess if your breath weapon is acid, eventually you would start burning away your own flesh. And so you'd have this weird acid washed head, I guess, is what they're going for. It's a menacing figure, but I don't know. It just seems to be just kind of all black. The only color that throws it off is this weird white head. It's $80 for this guy. He'll be available sometime in 2025. 10-inch wingspan. They're going to be redesigning all the dragons to fit the new lore. Because remember, according to Wizards of the Coast has never before given us any lore regarding any of the dragons. Their words, not mine. This will be the first time we ever see lore regarding where the dragons live and how they behave, because they've never done that before. No. Mind you, there's at least 4 dragon-centric Wizards of the Coast products that have come out over the last 10 years, and a brand new dragon-centric product that's coming out next year. But according to Wizards of the Coast, they've never done this. This is the first time. So they're redesigning all the dragons. Why are they redesigning all the dragons? Why are they changing the lore? Why are they changing so many things? It's not that insidious when you think about it. It's just sort of crappy and dumb, and the way they're going about it is just nonsensical. But the actual reason is they want complete control over the IP with the inevitable digitization of all their products. So they want their dragons to be unique to them. So they don't want anybody to say, oh, you stole this dragon from my culture's history, or you stole the appearance of this dragon from a pre-existing fantasy book, or you stole the philosophy and how these dragons behave from this. They want their dragons to be 100% unique to them. So when these dragons appear in the digital product or on the D&D online video game thingy, it is 100% theirs. That totally makes sense to me. And had they just come out and said that way, I don't think anybody would have been expected to be like, okay, that sucks, but I get it. It makes sense. But instead, Wizards of the Coast would like us to believe that over the past 50 years, at no point in time have they ever gotten into describing the dragons' personalities, where they live, how they act, what they eat. That's just, I mean, that's beyond utter bullshit. That is just a totally stupid fabrication. I mean, if you're going to lie, at least tell a good one. But it'll lead to some hopefully cool looking dragons. I'm still trying to rationalize the white face. The best I can get is maybe, again, my breath weapon is acid. Sooner or later, I'm going to start getting acid wash around my facial features, even though I'm immune to my own breath weapon, but still. Okay. They've also announced these Gamelings. This was announced as well. So we have Gamelings coming out. So these are wooden toy figures you can use for like blocks with kids. You could use as to replace the miniatures in your game. If you don't want to bring the cheap, the plastic minis, rather instead bring these wood minis, even though they'll be heavier than the plastic minis and take up more space than the plastic minis, and are more expensive than the plastic minis. They want to make these wood things. Now, this is something people have been doing on Etsy for years, guys. This is not new. This is something people have been doing for years. But now you can have blocks. I could see that they'd be cool in like a kid's playroom where you can have blocks, but I don't know. I mean, once you buy everything else that WizKids makes for the 50th anniversary, I guess if you want a red dragon block, it would make sense. So they'll be doing these. Plus, I don't know if they're cheaper to make. Actually, they'd probably be more expensive to make than plastic. But they're more environmentally sound. Except, no, they're not. And finally, saving the worst for last, we have this latest line of Nightmare Fuel from WizKids. Just in time for you to pre-order for your next bizarre acid-infused drank too much soda dreams. These things, life-size replicas. Life-size replicas for the guy who has bought every other Dungeons & Dragons product possibly and has the room. We will have life-size replicas of a baby red dragon breaking out of its shell. It is 9.25 inches tall, and it is $100. Then we'll have this Nightmare Fuel baby displacer beast. It is 10.5 inches long, soft foam, and it's $130. So these aren't stuffies. These are life-size figures made out of the soft foam stuff. This one actually isn't a Dungeons & Dragons product. It's a Pathfinder product, but I guess Wizards of the Coast is hoping we don't notice. This is a Lashling. I guess it's a monster that appears in D&D and Pathfinder just in time for Halloween, though we won't actually see it till late this year or early next year. It's $99 for this cool little pumpkin guy. The only one I'd probably get is this, just because I love Halloween and I love pumpkins, and he is kind of cute in a nightmarish sort of way. And then finally, Trinket. Except there was already been Trinket stuff out, but this is Trinket from Critical Role. He will be $130. So if you've ever wondered what a life-size baby Trinket would look like this, of course, Trinket wasn't wearing the armor when he was a baby, but if you want Trinket, the way he appears in Critical Role, which is in the armor, even though that was full-size old Trinket, and this is baby Trinket when he wasn't wearing the armor, but you're not going to sell baby Trinket out of the armor. Then you're just selling a brown bear. Again, these aren't stuffies. They're soft foam, life-size figures. Pretty sure a life-size bear is not 13 inches tall, but I don't know. That's a pretty big thing. That's a foot and change. Yeah. There's some new official 50th anniversary merch from D&D, Wizards of the Coast. Ultraplo has also made some official fantasy merch. They've got some Magic the Gathering card sleeves that say 50th anniversary. They've got a playmat that says 50th anniversary, and they've released a series of official 50th anniversary themed dice. You know who hasn't released any official 50th anniversary merchandise? The company that owns Dungeons and Dragons. But we do know that that is their plan. They feel they do not make any money off of Dungeons and Dragons, so they are licensing out the IP for other people can do all the work, and they get most of the reward, because that seems fair. Meanwhile, people are up in arms over the announcement that Wizards of the Coast plans to continue to use AI to create their product, and going forward will rely on AI more and more to continue to promote their product. I think the recent experience with the ordering of the Player's Handbook would prove to you to maybe not rely so much on AI. But yeah, Chris Cox said he was going to do this again. And again, a bunch of old players are going, oh my God, how dare you? I'm so upset. And I'm going, they said they were going to do this in 2020. Why are you still surprised? Of all the shitty things they've done, this is the one they've been open and honest about since day one. At no point in time have they ever been secret about this. It's like, hey, yeah, we're going to do this. Oh, no, you're not. You'd never do that. How many times do I, the OG GM, have to tell you that they're going to do this? I don't know. But apparently there's still people out there who are surprised over the fact that Wizards of the Coast is going to be using the AI to farm 50 years of content to go on to create the brand new content. That way they don't have to pay as many people. And we've seen the positive results of them firing 80% of their staff, like the fiasco with the pre-orders. If only there was somebody whose job it was to make sure the fiasco with the pre-orders didn't happen. Oh, wait, you fired that guy, but that's so Wizards!
We're laughing aloud now, magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizard.